onto your horses, boys and girls, because it seems that we've got a bit of good news. And I say that because it appears that Donald Trump is sticking to his word, has been on the phone to both Putin and Zelensky to actually end this war, and by doing so will also mean that, let's face it, we won't have to keep throwing God knows how much of our money towards the conflict as well. And of course, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure recently Putin actually said that this war would not have started if Donald Trump was president, so it does look like he was right by that. But anyway, Donald Trump has said that peace talks with Russia over the war in Ukraine will begin immediately following a phone call with Vladimir Putin. And in a post on his Truth social platform, the US president said both leaders had agreed to work together very closely on ending the conflict, including by visiting each other in each other's countries. While that will be very interesting, won't it? It just makes me wonder if either of them will get the red carpet treatment. I've got a feeling they probably won't. And we begin by calling President Zelensky of Ukraine to inform him of the conversation, something which I will be doing right now, Trump wrote. Although it does say, though, that White House officials declined to clarify whether Ukraine would be party to negotiations between the US and Russia. Well, I bet if anything they aren't, then Zelensky will soon be throwing his toys out of the pram, because obviously this war is between Russia and Ukraine, isn't it? I have asked Secretary of State Marco Rubio, hope I pronounced that right, Director of CIA John Ratcliffe, National Security Advisor Michael Waltz, and an Ambassador of Special Envoy Steve Mutkoff to lead the negotiations, which I feel strongly will be successful, Trump added. Now, it does make you wonder, doesn't it, what sort of cards, shall we say, that Trump will be using to end this war. Will it be, as from what I remember we've heard previously, saying something like either you end it or basically give Ukraine everything we've got and then finish it? Will he be saying something to Zelensky saying you'll have to compromise on this, this and this, otherwise we'll remove your support? And obviously I could be wrong, but I'm guessing there's probably a bit of both. It was not clear on which figures Trump said, though it was basing his claim that millions had died. He says no more lives should be lost, which is true, isn't it? This war should have never happened. And I do think Bungalow Biden, or Joe Biden as most people call him, perhaps should have seen this coming, being as tough as what Trump would have been. Although, of course, let's face it, he's not Donald Trump, is he? But anyway, I also want to thank President Putin for his time and effort with respect to this call, and for the release yesterday of Mark Fogel, a wonderful man that I personally greeted last night at the White House, and I believe this effort will lead to a successful conclusion, hopefully soon. Well, obviously it's not day one when Trump came into power, was it? But hopefully it'll be within the first month or maybe two at a push. But what did they all say then? Well, it said that he and Putin talked about the strengths of our respective nations and the great benefit that we will someday have in working together. And Trump's post came after US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said NATO membership of Ukraine was unrealistic, suggesting the country should abandon hope of a return of its borders before Russia's invasion of the Crimea in 2014. He added that European troops should be the primary force in securing a post-war Ukraine, something US troops will not be involved in. His comments, though, came after President Zelensky told ITV News that settling the war without security guarantees would simply lead to Putin returning to take what's left of Ukraine. Well, I personally think that he will now not do that because, let's face it, Donald Trump would have something to say about it, and I'm guessing, I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that Putin wouldn't be too happy about that. But there has been an update. Let's listen to this.
As you know, this morning, the president spoke to President Putin of Russia. They spoke at length, and the president released a statement following that conversation in great detail. I can also confirm that the president just recently got off the phone with President Zelensky of Ukraine. His truth is as follows. I just spoke to President Zelensky of Ukraine. The conversation went very well. He, like President Putin, wants to make peace. We discussed a variety of topics having to do with the war, but mostly the meeting that is being set up on Friday in Munich, where Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio will lead the delegation. I am hopeful that the results of that meeting will be positive. It is time to stop this ridiculous war where there has been massive and totally unnecessary death and destruction. God bless the people of Russia and Ukraine. I myself just spoke to the president about these calls, and he told me to tell all of you they were very good calls, they were very positive, and the administration is wholeheartedly committed to a peace deal to end once and for all the Russia-Ukraine war.
And of course, I don't know about you, but personally I think that if something wasn't done soon, then this war would have just carried on and on and on and on. We'd have given God knows how much of our money as well as the rest of the world, and who knows, that could have potentially led to a stalemate. And a load more lives could have been lost in the process. So I, for one, am very glad that this war will be finally coming to an end. And hopefully, the sooner the better.